Mira, ven.
Hi everyone, my name is Tico and this is Tico's House of Cards. This is going to be a YouTube channel just covering some of my home games here in the Dallas area. We'll hit the card rooms sometimes and maybe some casinos as well. Just want to cover some poker content. This is my introduction to YouTube and creating content. I've been wanting to create a channel for over almost 10 years now is when I actually started the channel, but I've never, added any content until now. So wish me luck with that. I welcome everybody. I'm open to criticism and constructive criticism. Let's say that. And yeah, this is just going to be a channel covering some games, some learning experiences. I am by no means a professional. This is a very low stakes home game. But I mean, it gets a little bit wild sometimes, at least for our level of playing. And I think I host a really good game. So we will cover a game that I had this last Friday. This is actually the worst run I've ever been on my life. It was really bad. It was a really bad game for me. We'll cover some of the hands. We'll cover some stacks. We'll have a couple different points of view. Again, this is just my first introduction to content creation, and so things are going to be a little bit choppy at first as I learn. I am filming off of an iPhone, a GoPro, and I'm using iMovie on my MacBook. So wish me luck with that. I will invest into the channel as time goes, and hopefully I get some subscribers along the way. So yeah, guys, welcome and thanks for watching. All right, so the game starts. We're about 4 or 5 hands in at this point. I am under the gun +1, and we're still waiting on one more player right now, so I'm kind of just getting settled and explaining the game to some of the newer players at our home game. At this point, I look down and I pick up Ace-10 offsuit. I think I'm in the middle of explaining the game, and so I'm not really focused on my cards. Rookie mistake, fish move, I know, and so I just limp. So Jose bumps it up to $4, little click. It's going to get Gus off of the hand, and then we're going to get 2 callers and 2 folds. So that's Brandon calling, Javier folds, Chris decides to make the call, and I decide to bump it up to 12 to isolate. So I bet $12, that's going to get Armando out of the hand, and it's going to go back to Jose. Now back to Jose. He decides to 4-bet me to $27. I'm not going anywhere for 15 more bucks.
Heads up.
The flop comes 5, king, jack, rainbow, so we flop everything. I decide to check it over to Jose for pot control and to see where we're at. He can have a lot of hands here. I mean, his range is extremely wide when it comes to raising pre-flop. So let's see where we're at.
All in and out.
Ooh. How much?
Is that like your luck charm or something? No, really. Just what you put on my cards? Yeah. In case I run out of all my money, at least I'll get like 15 bucks. 65, 25. What is that? It's an ounce of silver. Okay. I thought it was like a $50.
So Jose goes all in for about 65 effective, and I have 200 behind. He can be doing this with a lot of hands, except for I just think if he had a strong pocket pair, or if he smacked a king or a jack on the flop, he would want to get some value out of this on the turn and the river. And so I think for $65 on the flop, and he 4-bet me pre-flop, he may just be wanting me to get out of this hand. And so for that reason, I think my ace high is good, and I stick in the call.
Yeah. You covered?
Oh, yeah.
Right? Yeah. Ace high plays? Yeah.
What'd you have?
7 deuce.
Oh, my God. I'm crazy? It was I called for more last time, and I had less of a draw. Now this spot's really funny to me because I'm literally explaining the 7 deuce game to our new players, and Jose picks up 7 deuce. So he decides to barrel it and, you know, try to get a bluff through. Unfortunately, he's against me, who's an idiot, and calls pretty much anything with ace high. And so luckily for us, it held, and we win our first pot of the night. I wish I could say that we scooped in more pots after this, but that's probably one of the maybe 3 or 5 hands that I won the whole night. All right, let's get into a couple more hands here. So we're going to be in the big blind. Eric just showed up to the game, so we're going to get him some chips to start off. I think he goes in for about 150, something like that. We're in the big blind, pick up some garbage so we get out the way. Gus is going to be the original raiser to 4. Eric calls. It's going to fold over to Chris, who makes it 13 bucks. I fold, Armando folds. Goes back to Gus, who makes in the call. Eric calls, so we're 3 ways to a flop. And that flop is going to come Jack 6-10, 2 spades. Action is on Chris, and he's going to lead out for $25, where Gus is going to min click him up to 50. Eric's going to get out of the way here, and Chris is going to go all in where Gus snap calls. So we've got all in here early on. It's like the second or third all in already. And Chris has a set of 10s versus Gus's 2-pair, Jack 10. The set of 10s holds on 2 boards, and Chris is going to double up here. I think he had 91.50 starting, so it's about $180 pot there. Chris is going to take that one, and we're going to move into the next hand here. All right, getting into my next hand here. The nip button is live, and there is also a $2 straddle on the button. In our game, we have a $2 straddle option on the button, which gets ultimate last action. So anytime you get on the button, you're gonna wanna straddle for sure. So we pick up 8-10 of diamonds. That's enough for me to limp. It's gonna go around, get a couple callers. And it's going to go back to Eric, who's on the straddle, and he's going to bump it up to 15. A few players get out of the way, and I'm going to make the call because suited one-gappers are the bee's knees. And so we're going to go heads up to a flop here. Let's see what we get. So the flop comes 9 king queen. There's 2 spades out there. We flop a gut shot straight draw. So we're gonna make it 20 bucks. See if we can get Eric off the hand here. As I suspected, he was just trying to take some dead money there while on the straddle. It's good for us. We'll be able to take it down and get rid of the nip button, so we don't have to pay the tax. So if you've made it this far into the video, you're going to be rewarded, because this is about the time that I really start to torch my money. That's right. I look down at 7 deuce and it's suited, baby. It's go time. So we're going to bump it up to 6 bucks under the gun. Let's get all the limpers out of here now. It's going to go over to Brandon, who just seems to have it all night, and he's going to raise. He's going to 3-bet to $12. In retrospect, I should really be 4-betting this here. I think fold or 4-bet's the better answer here. I don't really like the call. Reason being is now I flop absolute bottom pair, and I'm going to take a stab at it here. I think the bet sizing also is really bad. Man, in retrospect, I'm realizing what a bad player I am. Let's tighten up. Brandon makes the smooth call, and the turn's an 8. Absolute brick for me. What do? Take another stab. I really should be checking here, because what is Brandon raising me with pre-flop, making a smooth call on that kind of board? I don't know, it really feels like he has at least a queen, right? Or 2-pair or something. So what am I doing taking a stab out of here with a 7 deuce? He makes the smooth call again, and the river comes another queen. Really don't like this. So now any hand he's calling me with improves here. He's got the better 2-pair. He's got trips. He's got a boat. So he's going to make it 40 bucks, and I'm going to act like I have something to think about before I get the heck out of here and contemplate my life. Those were bubble noises, you know, because I'm a fish. All right, I'm going to leave that one out. So by this time in the night, you would think that I am done torching my money. It's just getting started. So I pick up 4 or 5 offsuit in the big blind. I know, I finally pick up a premium, right? Nope, more garbage. What do? Fold? No, I limp. And then Armando decides to raise it to $11 from the straddle. Eric calls, Brandon calls. I should be getting out of this hand. Let's call. The flop comes 8, 7, 9, 2 hearts. I flop another straight draw. What do you know? Luckily, it checks through, and we're going to see a turn card, ace of spades. I check it over again. This time, Eric's going to make it $4. Brandon just makes the call. I haven't learned my lesson yet, and, you know, you're kind of just inviting me to throw in a raise here. So I make it $12, see if we can steal the pot. Again, with the bet sizing. I mean, if I'm trying to take this pot down now, if I really want to get some other draws off of this hand, I'm going to need to bump it up to like $30 or something. So inevitably, Brandon makes the call. The river is a queen. Completely missed my straight again. Check it over, makes it $10. $1 would have been enough to get me out of this stupid hand at this point. All right, so I bet you're thinking to yourself, all right, this guy sucks. And you're right. You know, going back and editing this video, watching the hands from the different points of view, you know, obviously hindsight is 20/20, but I am starting to realize a lot of my big mistakes. And so that's a huge part of me making these videos, of me doing this channel, is I want to learn and get better at my game. So I didn't anticipate this video being this long. I was hoping to maybe make a 10, 15-minute video, but the game was about 4 or 5 hours, and we're just about not even halfway through it. If you enjoyed watching me torch money in the first half, you'll definitely enjoy watching part 2, because I add on for almost double what I bought in for. So that's going to be interesting. There's going to be some more really bad hands for me to cover, I'm sure. In the meantime, please leave comments about maybe some tips on what editing tools I should be using, suggestions for things I should add to the video, maybe certain kind of hands you guys want to see. We do a lot of bomb pots, and I do plan on doing like a bomb pot segment at some point. But yeah, any criticism is greatly appreciated. I'll be happy to sharpen everything up and make these videos much better quality in the future. Maybe do some actual structure to it and plan a little bit better. For this one, I kind of just said, hey, let's hit the road and let's get started. Let's make content. There's no better way to learn than to just throw myself out there with the wolves. So please stay tuned for part 2. I know this was a little bit of a lengthy one, so I'm going to try to compress that second one out so you can enjoy the rest of the game, watch me throw away some money, and hopefully I can get a few subscribers from it. Thanks you guys for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.